I am showing certain things in the screen. Please read the screen and tell me, do you find anything useful to the company? Please read it out and tell me, is there anything useful to the company right now in the what you see in the screen?
No, sir.
None of them is useful. No. All of them are unproductive. All of them are called value adding. As a customer, if you are not able to find anything valuable, then that should be considered, a non-value adding work. Non-value adding work is plain English, it is called as useless work. Useless work is otherwise called as waste. Useless work is called waste. Ability to see the wasteful activities that exist in your company is called lean skill set. It's called what? Lean skill set. It is not visible to everybody, but people who know the lean philosophy, who know the lean principles, who has got an additional eye called lean, they can only understand, certain activities are wasteful activities. And wasteful activities will spoil your useful activities. Is it correct? Wasteful activities will spoil your useful activities. Right? So we should try to avoid the wasteful activities so that we perform the useful activities better. This is exactly lean. For example, in a day, we have got 24 hours. What is your goal? All of you want to become employable. All of you want to become entrepreneurs. Am I right? Right.
Yes.
And how much time do you spend in social media every single day? Like Facebook, your YouTube, and all these things. How much time? Come on, tell me. You can be frank. I'm not going to take any action. I'll only just...
1 hour, sir.
I don't believe.
So 1 or 2,
Yeah.
sir.
2 hours.
2 hours.
3 to 4 hours.
I don't believe.
More than 24 hours.
More than 24 hours. This I can believe.
3 to 4 hours, sir.
Yeah. On an average, I believe everybody spend 4 to 6 hours in the social media. Right? Now tell me, are you really spending time in social media to improve your employability? To improve your entrepreneurial skills? If it is so, you should be proud of it. If it is not so, what you are doing should be classified as waste. Am I correct? If you use social media for learning purpose to upgrade your skills, then what you are doing is value adding. Work is same, but in one perspective it looks value adding, in others perspective it looks waste. This perspective is called lean perspective, right? And you should always see the work from the point of view of the customer, not from your view. See, in your view, it may look everything you do is perfect, but from the customer viewpoint, some of the work what you are doing may be waste. So this is called lean. So unnecessary movement of a machine. What is unnecessary movement of a machine? You all know shaping machine? All of you know shaping machine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There will be a ramp which will be moving up, coming backward. Am I right? The machine where the portion of the machine, one arm called that moves upward and then comes backward, or something like a robo. Robo arm is moving up, moving forward and backward. Let us say the shaper arm should move 50 mm forward because the workpiece is 50 mm. It has to machine, right? And now it will come back 50 mm. And one of you is setting the machine in such a way that the shaper arm will move for 300 mm and then come back 300 mm. What is the work? 50 mm is the portion of the work to be machined. But how do you set it? You set it in such a way that the arm will move for 300 mm forward and 300 mm backward. Now, the excess movement of the shaper arm, can I call it a wasteful work?
Yes.
In the place of moving for 50 mm, it is moving for 300 mm. Who will pay for the extra 250 mm? Additional electricity consumed? Am I right? Since it is moving excessively, some accidents can happen. The machine will wear and tear very fast. electricity consumption is higher, and my work will get delayed. Do you understand all the consequences? That is why wasteful activities in any organization should be viewed and should be eliminated. This process is called lean process. Eliminating the waste is called what? Lean. Setup time. What is setup time? The adjustment you have to make in any machine. The adjustment you have to make in any machine, if you take more time, your production time will go down, isn't it? For example, in a formula race competition, after completing certain number of laps, the tires have to be changed. Am I right? And tire changing time, if you take more, do you win the race?
No, sir.
You will lose the race, right? Same way, the setup time to bring your machine to a productive condition, very, very low. Do you know how much time generally, people take to change all the tires in formula race competition? What is the latest record? Change the 4 old tires and fix new 4. Do you know how much time they take?
No, sir.
The latest record is 1.8 seconds. 1.8 seconds. The technique used is called SMED. The technique used is called what? SMED. You know what is SMED? SMED is a lean tool. When I expand it, it stands single minute exchange of dice. What is it called? Single minute exchange of dice. You must learn such tools so that you can run your company in a very, very productive way. Am I right? If you run your company in a productive way, avoid all unproductive activities. No, you will produce products faster. You will win the race. You will be super efficient. Your profits will be very, very thick, right? Machine breakdown. How to prevent the machine breakdown? By adopting approaches like TPM. You know what is TPM? Total
Productivity management.
Your maintenance.
Oh, productive maintenance. Sorry.
productive maintenance. Total productive maintenance. TPM is a part of lean tool. And then defective item. Defect reduction is 6 Sigma. Produce item only when it is required. Morning, all of you had breakfast? You had breakfast?
Yes, sir.
Can one of you tell me what did you eat today? What did you consume today?
Pongal, sir.
Idli, right? Idli is famous in Tamil Nadu. And can you tell me, when was the idli cooked? Come on, tell me. When was the idli cooked? Morning?
In the morning, when it is needed.
Yeah, morning only. Because none of us prefer eating an idli which was prepared yesterday or day before or last week. All of us deserve fresh idli in the morning. Am I right? Same logic. Your customers deserve a fresh product. Never overproduce. Overproduce means producing more than the demand. Overproducing means producing early. So there are 7 types of waste that exist in lean. Overproduction is one of the waste. Defect is another waste. Waiting is another waste, right? So you need to eliminate all the 7 waste. You need to eliminate all the 7 waste. That is called lean philosophy. So lean, when you apply lean principles, when you follow lean philosophy, your process will transform from current state to future state. The future state process will produce products very faster. Will produce products very, very fast. That means the lead time will be less. What do you know what is lead time? The time between order and delivery. I order the product, within 2 hours product is delivered. Imagine you order a smartphone for 30,000 rupees and the product is delivered within 2 hours at your doorstep. Will you like the service? Yes, sir?
Definitely. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is an application of lean thinking. Such facilities are made available nowadays in Amazon. Do you know? That is the result of lean thinking. Process in the current state, generally when somebody order a laptop or a mobile phone for 30,000 rupees, they have to wait for 2 to 3 days. Am I right? Same process has been transformed into a new process where what the company has done in 2 to 3 days was now done in just 2 to 3 hours. Do you consider this as an improvement?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
This is called a lean project. What you do in 3 days is now performed in 3 hours. Now you have become super efficient. Customer is ready to pay the premium price when you perform like this. Am I right? Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is the impact. The impact what lean can give you is lean can increase your speed of operation. If your speed of operation increases, the time, cycle time and lead time will come down. As the cycle time and lead time comes down, your operational cost will be low. If your operational cost is low for a fixed price, your profit will get maximized. Right? So the goal is to make the lead time equal to value adding time. Lead time is equal to value adding time. In order to understand what is lead time and what is value adding time, what time we started the training program? Can one of you tell me today? What time we started the training program?
9:30.
Okay, what is the time now? 12:30. What is the lead time now? 9:30 to 12:30. How much is the time?
3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours means 180 minutes. Do you think you spent all 180 minutes in a productive way?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Tell me where and all we lost the minutes.
So during the break and also
During tea break. Tea break, we lost 10 minutes. Then where else we lost?
During the initial introduction.
Maybe initial introduction. So 10 plus 10, let us say 20 minutes. Do you find all the rest of the time productive? Maybe certain topics I might have consumed more time. Am I right? You could have understood, but then also I will be talking. That is called what? Over processing. Am I right? If people understand and if you say yes, then I must quickly go to the next topic so that your learnings will be more. Am I right? What is the point in me talking the same thing right from morning till evening? Your learning will be less. So from the customer viewpoint, over processing is a wasteful activity. Am I right?
Yes.
So lead time you understood. The time between order and delivery is called lead time. And 3 hours, 180 minutes is lead time. And 20 minutes you found it unproductive or non-value adding. So 180 minus 20, 160. 160 minutes is value adding and 180 minutes is value adding. Sorry, 180 minutes is
Lead time.
If the value adding time is equal to lead time, that is the goal of lean. Do you understand? That is the goal of lean, but that will never happen. That will never happen. That means always there will be a scope for improvement because knowingly, unknowingly, sometimes you cannot avoid certain non-value adding activity. For example, can I avoid the tea break in our program?
no, sir.
You can't concentrate. It has now become a process requirement. Can I avoid that lunch break 1 hour because it is non-value adding?
Yes, sir.
Cannot, right? But no, you can think something really different. Probably we can have lunch in the meeting itself. Then you can convert that time also. Am I right? I can allow you to take your lunch also during the session. Then you can do something. Or I can minimize. Wherever elimination is not possible, try to reduce. This is exactly lean. All of you now understand what is lean and what is lean manufacturing now. You should be professionally conscious. You should be professionally conscious. Provide only what is required. The best word is optimize the resource utilization. Don't allow people to overutilize any resource. don't allow people to underutilize any resource. Both are problem. You must optimize the resource utilization. That is called lean. And this thinking can change the results like anything. Imagine you are driving a car in a traffic environment. You are driving a car in a traffic environment. When you are driving in such a traffic environment, tell me how your driving comfort will be. Will it be best or will it be worst? Worst. And tell me about your car's performance. Will you get a good mileage or you get a bad mileage?
Bad mileage.
Bad mileage.
Why the comfort is lost? Why the performance is lost? Because there is a lot of scope for unproductive work here. Am I right? What is that you are doing in the traffic? Are you really driving the car?
No, sir.
You are only running the engine. You are not driving. Your machine is running, but you are not producing product. What you are actually doing? You are waiting in the traffic. Am I right? You are waiting for the signal. Waiting is a waste. As a result, comfort is lost. Performance also lost. What lean is telling you, you don't have to change anything. No major changes. Bring the same car, bring the same driver, but rather clean the environment. Now what will be the driving comfort? Will it be? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
This is what lean can do for all the people. Whether it's the customer or the employee or the management, their comfort level will improve like anything. Everybody will love working in the company. Everybody will enjoy, the environment. And now think about the performance of the car. Do you think your car will now give a better mileage than what you expected? Come on, yeah.
Sure. It will give.
Definitely it will improve. People can deliver better results effortlessly. This is called lean. People misunderstand lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing is not cost cutting. Lean manufacturing is not eliminating people. Rather, it is empowering people with the simplicity. Simplify the things, that's all. Simplify. Six Sigma is a complex topic. We can either prefer to complicate it or teach it in an interesting way. If you teach it in an interesting way, that is called what? Lean. If you complicate it, people will fail miserably. Nobody understands. And the exam is conducted, everybody will fail. So lean is all about simplification. Simplification simply means better results. Right? You can make the right choice. Make the environment, make them, your machines, make the process, everything, easy to operate. Make everything, very, very simple, easily accessible. This is called lean. So there are several tools lean gives. 3M. 3M means Muda, Mura, and Muri. Muda means waste. Muri means overloading. Muda means unevenness. So all the three are enemies for your productivity. Muda, Mura, Muri. Waste, uneven loading, and overloading. If I overload all of you, for example, every day we conduct the training for 18 hours, how many of you will attend the training program? You can, at the maximum, how much time you can attend classes in a day?
5 hours.
That means you are already overloaded. Today we are going to exit, right?
Yes, sir.
Training is up to 4. That means you are already overloaded. So overloading will bring down the performance. Am I right? Don't overload people. Don't overload even machines. A crane can lift only 1 ton. Can I use the crane to lift 1.25 ton? Just because 0.25 extra, I should not do it. What will happen? A big accident can happen, right? So overloading should be removed. Uneven loading should also be removed. For example, when we have 2 trainers in the program, training program is 6 hours. Then I will do 3 hours. The other trainer will do 3 hours. This is called evenly loading. When I evenly load, comfort will improve. When comfort improves, performance will also improve. For example, I have 2 machines. I want to produce 1,000 units. How should I run the machine now? I will produce 500 from machine number 1. I will produce 500 from machine number 2. This is called evenly loading the machine. What is the advantage I get? I will produce faster. Am I correct? Suppose I unevenly load. For example, 800 I produce from machine number 1, 200 I produce from machine number 2. Now, do you think that production time will increase?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
As the production time increases, customer has to wait for the delivery, which is good for your business. You
Even loading.
deliver fast and take your money, do the next business. So uneven loading, overloading, and performing unnecessary activities are enemies in any factory. Removing the waste, removing the unevenness, and removing the overloading activities is called what? Lean. This is called 3M. In Japanese language, they call it Muda, Mura, and Muri. And TPM. TPM is not productivity, no, not this one, total productive maintenance. SMED, I talked about it, right? Single minute exchange of dice. It reduces the setup time. Value stream mapping. Mapping the process in the as it is condition. Mapping the process in the as it is condition. It is not that easier. If I give you a task, I'm sure all of you know, will do it wrongly. For example, all of you know how to make a coffee? All of you know how to make a coffee?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want you to create a flowchart, process flowchart of coffee making. Will you be able to do it?
Yes, sir.
Be able to do it. Yes.
Yes.
So now I am giving all of you an assignment. Today, after the training program, take a white paper and take a pencil and scale and draw the process flowchart of a coffee making process. Not how the coffee is prepared in a 5-star hotel. How you prepare the coffee. Starting from picking the tumbler and the utensil and taking milk, switching on the stove, adding the coffee powder, adding the sugar, stirring, and then serving it to your mom. Do you understand? You just have to create a map of the process. You call it flowchart. When the flowchart will be called a value stream map. See, there is a difference between a flowchart and a value stream map. Flowchart you all know, but value stream map is an improved version of the flowchart. For example, which activity you performed first? On the stove first or pour the milk into the utensil first? Tell me which one you do. Will you switch on the stove and then pour the milk into the utensil, or will you pour the milk and then switch on the stove?
Pour the milk and
Pour the
switch on the
milk
stove.
and
First you pour the milk, keep the utensil ready, and then only you will switch on the stove. You must understand the sequence and create how the process is flowing. That is called the process flowchart. Then for each of the activity, how much time you consumed, how much manpower you consumed, how much raw material you consumed. If you add all the information, that is called value stream mapping. Do you understand the difference? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you need to do little bit of work study. You need to do little bit of time study to create value stream mapping. But process flowchart you can draw just like that. But now I want you to create a flowchart by actually preparing a coffee for your mom. All of you, will you do it today?
Yes.
Sir.
Please do it and post it in the WhatsApp group today evening. We will see hundreds of improvement looking at your process flowchart tomorrow. Do you think that is possible?
Yes, sir.
Improvement is nothing but a project. If you master this, art of identifying improvement using the lean approach, you will be highly respected in a company. And then Poka-yoke is a mistake proofing technique. Any mistake proofing mechanism technique is called Poka-yoke. For example, the seat belt in the car. If I don't put the seat belt, a buzzer will come. That is a Poka-yoke. Am I right? That's a Poka-yoke, right? So Poka-yoke prevents mistakes in the company. 5S is a workplace organizing tool. Kaizen, so small improvement projects are called Kaizen. 7 waste, unnecessary transportation, unnecessary inventory, unnecessary motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects. These are called 7 waste. This concept was introduced by a quality guru called Taiichi Ohno. Taiichi Ohno and Toyota, together they developed the Toyota production system. According to Taiichi Ohno, what are the 7 forms of waste that will exist in any industry? Transportation. Transportation is moving between process. Transportation is moving between process. Whether you are moving material, or you are moving machine, or you are moving people, or you are moving information. Movement between process is called transportation. Inventory, storage is called inventory. Storing raw material, storing finished product, storing semi-finished product, storing information, storing emails. All of them are called what? Inventory. Inventory is a waste. Motion, movement within the process is called motion. Movement within the process is called motion. Waiting. I think you all know what is waiting. Whether material is waiting, or machine is waiting, or operator is waiting, or all of them are waiting, that is called waste. Nobody likes waiting, isn't it? Overproduction. Producing more than the demand. Producing early. These are overproduction. Overprocessing. Doing more than the requirement. Surface finish. Only certain level is required. But you go for a higher surface finish. In an examination, question is asked in this manner. Give answer in 2 lines. Give answer in 2 lines. But you are giving answer in 20 lines. What is this called? This is called?
Overprocessing.
Overprocessing. Anyway, you are going to get only 1 mark. The question is 1 mark. Answer expected is 2 lines. But why do you write it for 20 lines? Because in the entire question paper, only that question is known to you. So you are writing it in a 20 lines. But that is not going to serve the purpose. That is not going to gain any appreciation. Anyway, you will get only 1 mark. Same way, customer is having a requirement and he is going to pay a fixed price. You no need to over process. Always stick to specification. If you are not sticking to specification, if you go beyond the spec to delight somebody, that is also a waste. What is that called? Over processing. Defects, any non-conformance that is present in your product is a defect. These are 7 waste. If you use all these tools, your process will be lean. So what do we learn so far? Bill Smith is known as father of Six Sigma. It is the company Motorola which introduced the Six Sigma approach. At the time of introduction, Six Sigma had only 4 phases. Mac. Later, General Electric, when adopted Six Sigma in 1995, Mac has become DMAC. This is what you are going to learn in the remaining 3 sessions, afternoon, tomorrow morning, and tomorrow afternoon. Right? Afternoon, we will be discussing about define. Please note, define phase is thoroughly understanding about the why. Thorough understanding about the why is called define. And understanding the intensity of why, or understanding the size of the why, is called measure. Understanding about the X, understanding about the critical X, understanding about the relationship between X and Y is called analyze. Improve. Optimizing the X is called improve. When I adjust the X, what will happen to my Y? Y will come to the target, isn't it? So adjusting the X is otherwise called optimizing the X. Optimizing the X is called the improve, solution to the problem. Solution to the problem, in a medical world, they call it treatment. In statistical world also, it is called treatment. Treatment is nothing but setting an X factor with an appropriate level. That is called improve. Now, problem is solved at the improve level itself. We have one more phase, control. You know why we have one more phase, control? We don't want to see the same problem. So we will set limits for the X. We will set limits for the X. We'll standardize the procedure, plot some control limits for my X variable. When I keep the X variable under control, my Y variable has to be in control. Am I right? This is called DMAC. This is called DMAC. We understood DMAC in a mathematical way. We understood DMAC in a Y equal to F of X manner, right? This understanding is, will project you as an expert. And reducing cost of poor quality creates enormous opportunity to maximize profit in any organization. People will respect your approach. If you help any organization maximize profit, if you help any organization, reduce the expenses. The Six Sigma focuses on reducing defects by reducing variation, because variation is the killer. If nobody likes variation, isn't it? When customer wants 100 mm dimension, if you produce products close to 100, customer likes it. When you produce products away from 100, whether it is more than 100 or less than 100, customer doesn't like. So variation is the killer. Variation leads to dissatisfaction. If the variation is allowed to increase, that will convert your product into a defective item. Why your product is now defective? Because it now has certain defects in it. What has actually caused the defect? The variation has caused the defect. But how do you see variation? Only through statistical tools you can see variation. Statistical parameters will capture the variation. Control the statistical parameter to control the variation. Control the variation to control the defect. Control the defects to make your products defect-free. Defect-free products are world-class products, right? And lean will identify and eliminate the wasteful activities. Wasteful activities, when eliminated, will improve the useful activities. Being super efficient will definitely make you super effective. So if you achieve the efficiency, the desired level of efficiency, achieve the desired level of effectiveness, that is called operational excellence. So I would like to stop here. I think the